Hall.
Max Rose, the Democratic candidate for Congress on Staten Island, is following the lead of many left-leaning candidates and refusing to accept contributions from corporate political action committees. But it's a very different story for his Republican rival, the incumbent Dan Donovan. Our Courtney Gross is following the money and joins me now with more. I assume that they were both taking a lot of outside money. Not the case, I guess.
No, they are both taking actually a lot of outside money, which we're going to get to in just a minute. But clearly a lot of candidates across the country are shunning big corporate PACs or political action committees. But the Republican congressman on Staten Island says no one can buy him. Still, he's taking those contributions. Staten Island residents weren't just checking out groceries on Thursday.
Hi, good luck. Danny, please, thank you so much. Please vote November 6th.
They also had a front row seat to a heated congressional race.
He says a lot of things. I have a proven record over 22 years.
He is Max Rose, the Democratic candidate for Congress, trying to unseat Republican incumbent Dan Donovan. Rose was unveiling his government reform agenda just 5 miles away.
Government reform.
Rose was taking aim at Donovan's corporate contributions. This election cycle, he has received more than $760,000 from political action committees, including from major corporations like AT&T, ExxonMobil, Chevron, and Pfizer.
But he's never shown once where anybody has changed my vote or changed my mind because of political contribution. I've never done that. I never will.
He's taken $77,000 from the very oil and gas industry that set up shop across the border in New Jersey and polluted our air here in Staten Island. Then, Dan voted to repeal their emission standards.
Rose claimed campaign cash from corporations influenced Donovan on the floor of Congress, spurring votes to benefit the energy and telecom industries. A spokesperson for Donovan dismissed the allegation and said Rose was running a deceitful campaign. Rose, too, has money from political action committees. He has taken over $120,000 in contributions, many of them from left-leaning causes and groups.
Now, only 4% of his money came from the congressional district. He's taken dark money.
He's starting to sound like a kook, plain and simple.
As for Donovan, he told us he won't be changing how he fundraises anytime soon.
Would you commit to taking no more corporate PAC money?
No, listen, people support me because of who I am and what I do.
Now, we had asked the Rose campaign for a breakdown of those energy contributions to Donovan, but they did not provide them to us before deadline. Errol.
It sounds like Max Rose made exactly the case that Dan Donovan said he needed to make, right? He says you take the Chevron money and then you look the other way while they're polluting our waterways.
It was absolutely clearly set up. I swear I didn't set it up that way. I had asked Donovan, knowing that Max Rose was going to be talking about corporate good government reform, so to speak. Donovan had said that, no one can point to an example. And then you have it. You go to a Max Rose press conference and he cites a bunch of contributions and a bunch of votes that they actually sent us this entire packet of votes that they said came or were favorable to Donovan contributors. Is it an exact quid pro quo? I mean, these are a lot of Republican standard votes. These are standard Republican contributors. Standard talking points for Republicans, standard votes here.
Okay, well, we will surface all of it in time for the debate and the vote on November 6th. Thank you, Courtney. And as a reminder, if you want to vote in the election on November 6th, tomorrow is the deadline to register to vote. For more information, you can visit the Board of Elections website.